I was the night girl that you came over to at night, and you were asking her on dates and telling her cute things. I feel like a piece of trash.
Club, when your TikTok group chat turns into a swingers club, you know the content's about to get spicy. Welcome to the absolute circus that is MomTok, a once wholesome group of Mormon mommy influencers who went from posting choreographed dance routines to detonating their personal lives in front of millions.
Taylor, obviously this season you were confronting a lot of your past, you know, and even in the first season, you've always been so open and vulnerable about it all. I mean, that's the point, right? When you sign up to a reality TV show, I feel like you understand that better than anybody, really. But firstly, going into what went down with Dakota and Jenna, you had a meeting with Jenna and a lot came to light.
So he's saying, hey, do you want to come over? I'm just hanging with friends. So did you go to him that night?
August 4th?
5th.
No, I didn't go that night.
The fire starter, Taylor Frankie Paul, who casually dropped the bomb that she and her husband were part of a soft swinging circle. That's right. Vanilla suburban drama went full rated R. One confession later, her marriage imploded, friendships cracked like stale peanut brittle, and the internet collectively screamed, "Wait, what?" Turns out, people love chaos and yoga pants. TikTok went wild. Reddit had a meltdown, and suddenly every beige kitchen with marble countertops became ground zero for sleuthing. The Mormon community, understandably, was not thrilled to be represented by a hormone hurricane masquerading as a momfluencer squad. But hey, that's what happens when hash-blessed becomes hash-mess. What started as a few moms making cutesy content became a ticking time bomb of secrets, betrayals, and eyebrow-raising behavior that would make even a Bravo executives blush. Taylor didn't just throw herself under the bus, she brought the whole minivan. And the ripple effects? Just getting started? What followed was less of a storyline and more of a soap opera scripted by Satan himself. But hang tight, because this was only the beginning of the tea tsunami. Grab your Aperol spritz and buckle up. We're heading to Italy, where the vibes were immaculate and the marriages were not. Enter DEI, Jesse and Jen.
So it was definitely a jump scare because I expected it to be way less. I thought it was just gonna be Brett in the moment. I was not expecting a male stripper. And
who turned a girl's trip into the first act of a reality show Shakespeare never dared write. During their visit to Vanderpump Villa, because apparently they needed more drama imports, Jen accused DEI of playing flirty footsie with Marciano, the resident heartthrob. DEI swore it didn't happen, but plot twist. Marciano spilled that not only did she flirt, but he also hooked up with Jesse. Mic drop. Jesse, the married mom with perfect highlights and a suburban dream life, denied the hookup. But eagle-eyed viewers noticed her wedding ring was MIA postseason. Coincidence? Maybe. Strategic finger feng shui? More likely. As receipts trickled in, texts, DMs, side-eyes, it became clear that what happened in Italy didn't stay in Italy. Instead, it exploded all over TikTok, Instagram, and every Mormon Facebook group within a 100-mile radius. Then, the husbands got involved. Day's man fired off on social media calling Jen a liar. Marciano clapped back with actual screenshots. So now we're not just throwing shade, we're launching missiles. This wasn't just messy, it was nuclear. And with everyone scrambling to control the narrative, one thing was clear. This group doesn't need a publicist.
Looking back, do you feel like you wish that would have been handled differently? Any regrets there?
No. There was a lot going on behind the scenes and a lot that will come to the surface as to where that came from, the demonstrative, speaking out on it.
They need a crisis management SWAT team. If you thought the Italy drama peaked in Tuscany, guess again. The real bombshells came sliding into DMs faster than a dad at a PTA meeting trying to book a tea time. Marciano, bless his chaotically honest soul, pulled out screenshots that made Demi, aka DEI, look like she was auditioning for Real Housewives of Utah. Messages showed flirty banter, naughty references involving oysters. Yes, that kind of joke. And playful exchanges no happily married mom should be engaging in. Let's be real. When you say it's no different than swallowing in response to shellfish, you better be single drunk or starring in an HBO show. Demi, allegedly neither, was very much still ringed up and publicly preaching modesty. The hypocrisy was rich, creamy, and slurped straight from a half shell. The other cast members were shook, like speechless on a reunion couch shook. Even Jesse, who may or may not have shared a bed with Marciano, was side-eyeing hard. Demi tried to spin the narrative later in a sit-down with Nick Viall, claiming her words were twisted. But honey, screenshots don't lie. If anything, they post their own receipts. And while everyone else was putting out fires, Taylor and Demi reignited theirs with petty jabs, jealousy-fueled tension, and accusations of one trying to outshine the other. Drama level, unholy. And this wasn't even halfway through the reunion. Some people bring wine to the table. Day brings betrayal with a side of dollar signs. Picture this. You're Jessie, sitting pretty thinking your bestie's got your back, only to find out she might be trying to cut you from the show for a slightly fatter paycheck. Savage? Try Game of Thrones in a minivan. At the reunion, whispers turned into wildfire when it came out that DEI may have been secretly negotiating contracts behind the scenes, allegedly suggesting that Jessie, her so-called BFF, could be replaced for more money. That's not friendship, babe. That's Shark Tank with hair extensions. Naturally, the cast went full Bravo mode. Whitney, bless her chaotic energy, tried defending DEI, but got slammed with the cold, hard rumor mill receipts. Cue everyone going, sis, are we watching the same show? And this wasn't just a little workplace tension. This was housewives-level betrayal with confessional tears pending. Jessie looked like she got hit by a betrayal truck, while Whitney started sounding like Day's unpaid PR intern. Meanwhile, fans online began calling out the power plays, the backdoor deals, and the absolute audacity of MomTok turned MomTok. Oh, and the cherry on top. Demi, yes, still spinning from her own oyster saga, warned Taylor not to get her hair done at Jessie's salon because she didn't like her results. Babe, that's your best friend. If your loyalty can't survive a bad balayage, what hope is there? One thing's clear, in this group, loyalty has an expiration date, and it's printed right next to your follower count. We're not in Utah anymore. We're in backstabber central population. Everyone. Imagine sending a cease and desist because someone spilled your tea. Now imagine doing that while skipping your own reunion like a guilty raccoon avoiding the spotlight. Welcome to Demi's Day's latest move. A courtroom power play that backfired harder than a Target candle at full burn. So here's the scene. Demi allegedly fires off legal papers to Jen, trying to muzzle her from talking about the whole Marciano flirtation situation at Vanderpump Villa. Yes, instead of issuing an apology or, sipping water and logging off, she went full corporate. You've been served style. But let's be honest, in this group, trying to legally silence someone is like trying to mop up a hurricane with a paper towel. The rest of the moms weren't having it. At the reunion, Jen rolled in with the receipts like a reality TV warrior, exposing that Demi allegedly gave her talking points on how to deflect questions about what went down in Italy. Yes, a full-blown voice memo surfaced where Demi coaches Jen on what to say, not deny, deflect. This wasn't damage control, it was straight-up media training with a splash of shady. Nick Viall, clearly living for the drama, leaned in with a smirk as everyone else collectively gasped. So she's not just skipping the reunion, they whispered. She's coaching witnesses from afar? And while Demi tried painting herself as the misunderstood mom in a separate one-on-one interview, the rest of the cast was busy repainting her as the group's very own Kris Jenner, if Kris Jenner got caught mid-scandal and threw cease and desists like confetti. Bottom line, you can dodge the reunion, hide behind legal threats, and coach your castmates. But receipts don't forget, and neither do we. DEI, sweet DEI, the girl next door with the shady DM receipts. Word on the street, and by street, we mean an extremely shady group chat, is that she tried to boot Jessie from the show in exchange for a bump in her paycheck. Yes, sis allegedly sold out her own best friend for some extra coins and camera time. Forget snakes in the grass. This one was in the glam chair, hugging you before call time. Season 3 promises even more revelations. And if we've learned anything, it's that Demi's always got one hand in the drama, the other holding a match. Yes, you read that right. Demi allegedly sent Jen a full-on cease and desist to keep her lips zipped about the Italy incident trademark, because what better way to scream nothing to hide than legally forbidding someone to talk? The moment Jen mentioned legal threats on the reunion stage, jaws hit the floor like they were on greased linoleum. A cease and desist over vacation tea? Baby, this ain't federal court. It's reality TV. But Demi doesn't play small. She pulled the legal card faster than anyone could scream defamation. So what happened in Italy? Was it a betrayal, a hookup, a secret alliance? Nobody knows yet. But one thing's for sure, if you're trying to silence someone that hard, there's something very juicy being buried. Jen looked like she was ready to drop a comment. Who do you think is the real puppet master this season? Because in this show, the wigs are synthetic, but the drama, 100% real. Catch you next time, drama addicts.